Well, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I know we just did a little mini introduction, but I'll introduce myself again. My name's Taryn. I am the market development lead with Trek Travel. Thanks for joining us, everybody. If you're here with us tonight, if you want to put yourself on mute, that would be super helpful. And that way we're not totally distracted, but thank you for joining us. My name's Taryn, like I said. I'll be your host this evening, so I hope everybody gets comfy and grabs their favorite beverage. If you're joining us from home, feel free to kick up your feet. This is a fun, easy, we're just going to tell you a little bit about riding your bike in beautiful locations, so feel free to kick back and relax. But let's kick it off. I'm not on my own tonight. I've got a great teammate with me tonight. I have my co-guide, Hershey. You'll see Hershey in just a little bit later when we get to our trips that we're highlighting. I mentioned this just quickly, but if you are joining us tonight, there are a couple Zoom tips I have for you. We have a mute button and a turn off video button on your screen. There's also a chat box. There is a couple trivia questions that we'll ask throughout. It's just for fun. Feel free to engage. We love to see everybody engaged with us during our event. So feel free to put your answers in the chat box. We also have a Q&A section at the end. So if you have questions throughout, feel free to put them in the chat box and we'll either try and answer them as we go, or we will answer them at the end out loud. You can always just turn on your mic at the end and we'll answer those out loud with you. But at this point, if everybody could turn off their mic and their camera, it'll be a little bit less distracting for everybody and we'll get started. All right, at Trek Travel, we usually begin each day on our trips with a route talk, so you have an idea of where we'll be going each day and what to see and what to expect. We'll start tonight with our route talk, and then we'll start with who we are at Trek Travel. Then we'll move on to why you should choose to travel with us and what sets us apart from our competition. Then we'll climb up to tonight's trip spotlights, which are Provence countryside and Girona Ride Camp. Then we will quickly descend to discuss how to book a trip and finish with, like I mentioned, our Q&A. So feel free to, like I said, wait for the end and we'll answer those questions. But don't worry, we will not do a safety talk today. I know that's what most of you are expecting from our trips. All right, first is, who is Trek Travel? And we want to tell you about Trek Travel and what we do and what sets us apart. We believe in taking you on vacations that move you, both literally and figuratively. Trek Travel curates active vacations all over the world, and we're always scouting out new locations to take you, and it's been over 20 years of fun. And over those last 22 years, we've been winning some awards. We take real pride in being voted one of the top vacation companies by our guests and partners, including being voted number 5 by Travel and Leisure for 2023 World's Best Tour Operators. It's our highest finish ever. Now I want to tell you why you should choose to travel with us and what we do to set ourselves apart from our other tour operators. You might hear us call it our secret sauce, and rather than me telling you, I want to show you some amazing videos and photos. So hope you enjoy this video narrated and presented by our president, Tanya Burke, called Why Trek Travel.
Travel is transformational. It allows you to have a different perspective, get to know a culture, your surroundings, and the landscape around you. But a cycling vacation really is different. You can see things up close and personal. You can smell the flowers. You work up an appetite riding your bike, and so it makes the dinners taste that much better. And for me, it is the absolute best way to see the world. We meticulously plan every single one of our trips, from hand-picked perfect accommodations to the region's best riding and local and cultural experiences that really immerse you in the place that you're traveling. And these are all the elements of an awesome trip. Our guides provide exceptional hospitality. They're really focused on making sure we have a seamless and effortless experience for our guests. And they provide wow moments that you would never expect. If you're avid and want to go do some epic climbing, you can do that. If you want more of a leisurely ride, we have trips for you as well. We also offer e-bikes, and they have been an absolute game changer. People can go further than they ever imagined. So we have different rider levels, different trip styles, price points, and destinations all throughout the world. We go to North America, Europe, South America, Asia, and pretty much anywhere you can dream up, we can take you on a vacation there. The most important thing, and I think everyone at Trek Travel shares this, is taking care of people. And that's why we do what we do. It's ingrained in our training and it's ingrained in our commitment to providing exceptional hospitality. And our hope is that all of these elements come together and provide an experience of a lifetime.
I don't know about you, but I love that video. And even that video, it's amazing and beautiful, but it's actually out of date because we also take you to Australia now. And there's some other new exciting things that I'll mention in just a minute. But if you're following us or on our newsletter, you would have seen that we launched our brand new 2025 trips today. So check those out as well. I'll mention that a little bit later as well. But we are here tonight, and most of you are here tonight because you love riding your bike, and we know that you prefer to ride in style. That's why at Trek Travel, we offer some of the newest and best bikes in the industry on our cycling tours, and it's truly what sets us apart from our competitors. These are the bikes that we offer on majority of our trips, and a few regions you'll see pictured here where you can find each of these. But do note that a few select regions, we offer different bikes than the ones I'll show you today. So first, we offer checkpoints on most of our gravel trips. Secondly, we offer the Damani SL7 road bike on most of our classic guided road trips. As for our electric assist bikes, the Verve Plus is offered on many of our trips, not including our Avid trips and a few others. This is the bike you see in the top right. It's a low step-through bike with geometry, more like a hybrid bike. Then we have the Damani Plus, which is offered on most of our gravel trips and a selection of our road trips. This bike has a road bike design, and it's the only bike that also comes with an upgrade fee. The rest are included in the price of your trip. So if the idea of riding an e-bike on your trip is interesting to you, we highly recommend that you pop into your local Trek dealer for a test ride so you're comfortable with the fit and function of the bike prior to your trip. And at Trek Travel, we believe in, I already mentioned this, vacations that move you, but we'll move on to our activity levels. Now a question we get all the time is about the activity levels. So I said that. I'll mention these here. We classify all of our trips by 4 levels. Level 1, 2, 3, and 4. I know, it's genius if you think about it. Level 1 is going to be our easier in distance, terrain, and or skill level. And then your level 4 is going to be your hardest. That's true for all of our trips. You may have seen these descriptive names to describe the types of trips we offer, like leisure, recreational, active, avid. But you'll start to see more of just the number level being mentioned throughout our website going forward. So what are the styles of trips that we offer? First is our road cycling trips, and most of our trips are this style by far. We also have gravel cycling adventures. These trips are for our guests who want to get off the beaten path and have some gravel riding or mountain biking experience. And now our third trip type, which is our newest, and we're so excited to share with you this brand new trip style. Step into a new era with Trek Travel and our new hiking and walking tours. Hiking and walking tours are packed with everything that makes Trek Travel great. The best guides, luxury accommodations, expert itineraries, unmatched flexibility, and support from the moment you book to well after you depart. All delivered with what truly sets us apart, our unparalleled hospitality. So what's included on the trips that we have at Trek Travel? As you can see on the left-hand side here, it's what is included on all trip styles. Then you'll see on the right, divided out with what's included in our cycling tours and what's included in our hiking and walking tours. What's included in both hiking and cycling tours is our hotels, guides, daily breakfasts, some meals along the way, gratuities for local staff, luggage transfers, transportation, etc. And then on our cycling tours, our bikes, the Garmin helmet, flat pack, all those types of things, the support with the van, daily route options. And then for hiking and walking, we provide a backpack, hiking poles, and water bottle. But if you have your own, we do suggest that you bring your own just because you're comfortable with them. So a much shorter list of what we don't include. You'll be responsible for arrangements getting to and from your trip. We're proud to partner with a travel service provider, Santa Barbara Travel Bureau, and we can connect you if you'd like assistance with your transportation. Also, some meals on your trip are going to be on your own, depending on the trip style. And then we will invite you to explore the local cuisine, and we'll give you lots of great recommendations. So that's what's not included. But now we're on to our first trivia question. So get your chat box ready and we'll start from here. Okay, first question. Which of the following is not a part of our curated collections at Trek Travel? A, multi-sport, B, one hotel tours, C, national parks, or D, sailing tours? So our collections are special groups of trips built to highlight unique experiences, showcase spectacular destinations, and cater to the way you like to spend time while traveling. From a collection of trips in national parks with wine tasting or wine regions, there's lots of different ways that you could go and travel. That's kind of a hint to you right there. All right. The answer is D, sailing. We certainly do some cruising on the water on various trips at Trek Travel. Examples include a sailboat cruise on the Mediterranean and Costa Brava, a private boat tour in Croatia, or sea kayaking on the Roche Harbor on our San Juan Islands bike tour. But we do not specifically have a collection of trips for these, but maybe someday, we'll see. All right, now we're climbing up to the point that you've all been waiting for. I'm sure the main reason why you're all here, the section of the event where we highlight a couple of our trips. And tonight I am so excited that we get to share Provence Countryside Bike Tour and Girona Ride Camp with you. So I'm so excited to pass it over to my co-guide, Hershey, who's been with us since 2005. Hershey, take it away.
Awesome. Taryn, thank you so much for the introduction. It is, as always, great to be here with you this evening and to be with everybody else. So thank you for joining us. Tonight, we begin with a place that I would say for me is magical. And in fact, both of these destinations are places where Trek Travel either once had our European headquarters or currently has our European headquarters. So we begin in the enchanted land of Provence, and our Provence countryside tour, it's 5 days, 4 nights, and it is an incredible trip. This trip is designed for those of you who love riding your bike. You love amazing scenery, incredible food, culture, and I also need to mention you're going to experience some of the finest wines in the world on this trip. Provence is all about discovering that slower way of life. You know, dinners aren't rush in, shovel food down your mouth. It's you sit in, you enjoy the conversation with the folks at the table. The food, the flavors are incredible. You just sit back, take a bite, savor the different and unique aspects and all the fine touches within the food. The cuisine is lovely. And then also, we're going to spend some time walking around different markets where you can get to know the locals. Like I said, the riding is fantastic. And I really mean that. I've spent many hours on the roads cycling in and around Provence, and they're quiet, narrow roads. The drivers are super respectful. The scenery is stunning and amazing. At some points, the views go on and on. The terrain is hilly, but the climbs are not sustained for too long, and you definitely should be comfortable with a little bit of traffic. This trip is really recommended for level 2 riders that have some good fitness. Now, your first full morning, you're going to leave Saint Remy, and it's culture filled, and it's definitely pretty exciting. You accomplish a few great climbs early on in the day, and then you're going to see this stunning, gorgeous limestone mountain range, the Les Apils, and they are really cool. We're going to make our way to Aiguilleries. It's a town known for its fountains and fortress castle, and the castles here in Provence are pretty darn stunning. Another day, you're going to experience one of the greatest samples, and we believe this was built by the Romans, but it's an engineering feat. And you're looking at it here in this photo, and this is the Pont du Gard. It's an aqueduct bridge. It's featured, which is featured in this slide. It's one of the best preserved examples of Roman ingenuity. By the way, it's a Roman UNESCO World Heritage Site, so you get to spend some time exploring the Pont du Gard. Our hotel, it's charming. It is a family-run hotel. It's situated in a garden. The fig trees here are over 100 years old. Depending on the time of the year that you go, you may actually be able to pick some figs right off the tree, or they might have dishes of figs around from the tree, and you'll get to sample them. And there is nothing like a fresh, ripe fig right off the tree that's ready to eat. The dried figs are good, but the fresh ones, in my opinion, are even better. You can, I'll say this, most people think of wine as being red or white, but here in Provence, rosé is definitely the way to go. So imagine sipping rosé on the patio, as seen here. You can hang out and lounge by the pool. There's also some really cool markets, and you can go explore and shop and just enjoy this perfect area. We'll also explore St. Paul's Mausoleum. Vincent van Gogh's home was here for a year. He famously painted Starry Night. So if you've seen that painting, this is where it was painted, and you'll learn more about the history as you explore the town and enjoy his finer stuff. Now, on day 4, we have a fantastic day for you. It's definitely different, where we don't just eat and jump on the bike. This morning, you're going to ride, but it's going to be at 11 a.m. It'll give you the chance to stroll through the village and appreciate the quintessentially Provençal experience. Remember, I said earlier, it's all about taking that like more relaxed way of life. Les Carrières des Luminaries. It's a unique art exhibit in an old stone quarry. You'll get to see some of the world's greatest artists in this full sensory experience. And this is a shot of that. After choosing to visit the exhibit, you'll hop back on your bikes and you're going to ride across the Les Apils and their impressive rocky points. You will soon pass by Le Beau de Provence. It's a historic town nestled right into the limestone cliffs. It's also a great opportunity to grab lunch with an incredible view. The Saint Remy Market, you can stroll through the village and appreciate the fresh produce, cheese, artisanal products, and this definitely Provençal experience. If you haven't been to a French market, it's incredible. I think you might even want to have a picnic afterwards, or wish you were going back to your place with a great kitchen, because you can have so many fantastic vegetables and meats, fresh breads. The cheeses are incredible. You can get little tiny spots of cheese. There's fresh olives, and then there's also different textiles and clothing and blankets. It's a pretty cool experience. It's not just what you're seeing, but the smells are incredible as well. The language is unique. So the markets, in my opinion, are an experience unto themselves. So in conclusion about this trip, you'll have stunning sceneries that just will inspire you to want to ride your bike more and travel all year long. The hotel that we stay in, it's cozy, it's a mom and pop place, and it just makes you feel right at home. The riding could be challenging, but your legs, no matter what level, you're going to have an amazing time. And then you're going to sample some of the best wines in the world, have some fantastic Mediterranean dishes. All of that's wrapped in to what riding in France and Provence is all about. So now we're going to say goodbye to Provence and TT's former headquarters, and we're going to make our way down south to Spain, to where our current headquarters are located. So I would like to welcome you now to the Trek Travel European headquarters in Girona, where there are pristine country roads, amazing riding, fantastic food, and a cycling culture that just seems to continue to grow and thrive. And this is our Girona 7-day ride camp bike tour. The variation of riding in Girona has everything from flat roads to mountainous climbs to rolling punchy hills to views of the Mediterranean Sea. Girona has it all. So I just need to say we are also close to the Pyrenees, so just be prepared for some serious climbs. The road quality is superb. The pavement in and around Girona, it is buttery sweet, is the best way I can describe it. It's awesome. Now, on the third day, we'll ride from the hotel to the tranquil Lake of Banyoles, where the Avid option splits off for a special treat. And this is definitely something I would highly recommend it. You can see the road here in this photo. This is Roca Corva. It's a secret training ground used by pros to test their fitness. You're going to treat yourself not only to the sweeping views of the majestic Pyrenees, but you're also going to have an incredible punchy ascent that's just shy of 14 kilometers long and has a lovely gradient average of 6.5%. Another day is our Costa Brava loop. Remember, I said we're going to ride by the sea. We head to the coast through Girona's old quarter toward the Costa Brava. Once you break free from the city, it's nothing but lush and amazing countryside, rolling hills, and as you complete an gorgeous 80-mile ride riding through Catalonia, you will have a good portion of it where you're right along the coast and you'll smell, hear, see, and if you want, experience the majestic Mediterranean Sea. Now, our accommodations on this trip are downtown Girona. It's in the Hotel Nord. It's comfortable. It's an inviting hotel. The staff are fantastic. It's located right in the center. I want to say that one more time. It's right in the center. So if you think about a great location for you to get out and explore, I don't think there is one better. They have a great restaurant on site. It's called Lycée. Uh, they have fantastic amenities. There's an indoor pool, spa treatments. Shopping is lovely. They do sports massages here too. There are cafes themed just for cyclists, and I'm sure many of you are aware about. Um, and there's just so much more right here in Girona. And of course, Girona is not just world famous for its cycling, but also for its food. You will be treated with delicious Spanish cuisine. It's all pretty much local and fresh. The meats are incredible. The breads are awesome. The vegetables are fresh as well. The cheese is fantastic. The olive oil that they have here and the olives are pretty savory. You can check out the local food market. It's amazing and fresh. There'll be a handful of meals we'll enjoy together as a group. But one thing I love about the ride camps and some of our other trips is we give you nights to go out and explore. And we definitely will recommend locations for you to check out. One thing I will note, you are in Spain, dinners are going to be a little bit later than you may be used to, but we'll always try to, when you're eating with us as a group, try to get those restaurants and dinners to happen a touch earlier. Now, Girona is home to many fantastic museums. Three of the most popular museums in Girona include the Museum of Jewish History, the Girona Art Museum, and the Cinema Museum of Girona, which is pictured here. There's so much to do and see in Girona, like truly. Your guides will be more than happy to make great suggestions for you, things to do for those off the bike moments. And of course, if you're tired from your day's ride, you also have the ability to just hang out and enjoy your hotel and have a good book and kind of unwind and relax. So to summarize both of these trips for Girona, if you love to ride your bike, if you are looking for a place where cyclists just seem to come and congregate, and the city itself just has this amazing cycling culture that has fantastic riding, great cafes, more than likely you're going to see a few pros in and around the area. It has world-class food and pavement that was made for you to ride your bike on. Well, then Girona is definitely the place for you. And with that, Taryn, I am going to hand it back over to you. And thanks so much.
I don't know what it is about. Every time you tell me about a trip, my mouth is just watering. Or maybe it was Andrew talking about ice cream in the chat box. One of the two. I'm excited to go to Girona. So
Yeah,
thank you for sharing that.
you're welcome. And the ice cream in Girona, like it's not gelato, but it is incredible. And there's some like world-class ice cream spots in Girona.
Okay, well, that's all I needed to hear. Thanks for that.
Anytime.
You definitely don't come back from our truck travel trips losing weight if that's what you're expecting, because we're gonna feed you well.
That is correct too.
All right. Well, hopefully after all of that, we've gotten you excited to start the booking process. So I'm going to go very quickly into that. If you are ready to get booked, first thing you should know is that we have a brand new website. So if you've been on our website already and you've seen it, we are excited about it. We also have, if you've logged in with us before and you are trying to get in again, you might have to reset your password, just a little FYI. But yeah, go check out our brand new website. There are brand new trip pages with some really amazing videos, lots of key information, all of our travel dates up there, so much more to check out. But part of getting ready for your trip is looking at the travel logistics. So feel free to go to our page. We recommend always checking out how to get there before and after and where to stay, because we always recommend staying or arriving at least one day prior to your trip, just to allow for any travel delays. Also, you're going to want to explore, so stay after. We've got some great recommendations for staying in the region after the fact. But if you have more questions about logistics, please feel free to reach out to our trip consultants, as they're happy to provide as much detail as possible for you. All right, and I mentioned this briefly at the beginning, but we're almost done. We're almost at the end of our event, and we host a lot of other events throughout the year. Almost all of our events are hosted on Wednesday nights. And after each event, we're always going to send you a link to our YouTube channel, which has all of our events that we have been recording put up there. So you can find older events as well as the one that you just came to, or if you registered but weren't able to make it, it'll be up there as well. And if you go to our events page right now, trucktravel.com/events, you can sign up for our new in 2025 launch events, and they're live now on our website. They're going to be September 12th for our North America showings, and everyone who registers has the chance to win a free truck travel trip. So please join us for that event. All right, your next 4 action steps. Watch for an email from our team with lots of great information to recap today's presentation. 2, visit our brand new website, take a look at more trip photos and play around with our Find a Trip tool. 3, give us a call, get started with your booking process. Our trip consultants are excited to chat with you Monday through Friday between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. Central Time. And then last but not least, get excited for your trip. And don't forget that preparation, spending some time on your bike ahead of your trip, setting your goals. It's all part of the fun. And a great way to prepare for your trip is to reach out to your local truck bikes dealer, get some new gear, get fitted on one of the bikes that we take you on, or just chat with them about a training plan before your trip. But we're on the last leg of our journey this evening, and hopefully we stirred up some questions for you. If so, we'd love to have you either throw them in the chat box and we'll answer them out loud, or feel free to turn on your microphone and or camera and ask them out loud with us. So mostly we just want to say thank you for joining us tonight, and we cannot wait to see you out there riding or hiking with us. Thanks again. All right, were there any questions in the chat box? Better than the gelato in Greece. Just straight up.
Hi,
Yes.
hello, this is Tom Lesser, Minneapolis. I do have a question. What are the options for non-riders?
Good question. So Provence is a really good one for a non-rider. Girona Ride Camp is going to be a little bit less fun because there's so much riding on that trip. But non-riders pay the same as our regular our riders, and then they join for all the activities, including the meals, the hotels, all those things. If there's any activities that we do on trip, they'll join us for those. Then they just are able to explore on their own throughout the day. Girona is obviously a great place for people to explore, but it's just a little bit harder since there's so much riding throughout the day that they're just going to be on their own more often.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Mount Ventoux is on our Provence bike tour. We have 3 Provence road bike tours. We have Provence countryside, Provence bike tour, and Provence to the Riviera. And we do Mount Ventoux just on bike tour, right?
That is correct. Yeah. Or if you want to do classic climbs of the tour with us, we also do Mont Ventoux on that trip, but that trip includes the Pyrenees, Provence, and the Alps.
Oh, Eric just got back from Switzerland. Oh, it's beautiful out there. I'm very
April,
jealous.
April is not too early. I don't know. Are we doing trips in April though? In Provence, Terry?
Great question. Let me pull up the schedule. I should have had that up already.
I thought we started in May in Provence, but
We might. Let me pull it up quick.
1 second, Andrew. Thanks for your question.
Yeah.
I think for me, like any time of year is great to ride in Provence. May, June, July. It does get hot in July, so you either ride earlier in the day or late in the day. The sun is fantastic, and then as we move into the fall, the colors in Provence are simply incredible because the angle that the sun and the light just hits everything. The shadows become longer. It's pretty cool.
All right. Dates for this trip are in 2025. No, we do April 13th and April 27th. And then we have May 4th and 11th, 1 June. And then we start in October. We just have 1 October date right now for this particular trip. I'm gonna look at the other ones.
So definitely you can go in April
Yeah.
if you'd like to travel with us then.
I'll throw this link in the chat box too if you want to.
Yeah, thanks, Taryn. So
Yeah.
Max just asked, are there different pace groups? And do you mix e-bikes with regular bikes on the same ride? Our significant other wants to join, but is spirited when it comes to cracking out watts for 80 miles. So great questions. Our trips are all about you riding at your pace. I just came back from Vermont and we had some people who were riding faster, some riding slower, some in between, all that, but everybody was going at their pace. So it's not really about trying to keep up with different folks. It's about you exploring and seeing the world by bike at your pace. We do have different e-bikes. We have a Domani Plus e-bike on some of our trips, and then we also have a Verve e-bike. Both of those e-bikes are awesome, and people ride them with those who don't have e-bikes. So everybody kind of rides together at their own pace. So if you have a significant other who doesn't do as much, it's all good because that e-bike is like having an amazing tailwind at your back for the entire day.
There are no e-bikes on Girona Ride Camp though, just as an FYI. I'm assuming we're talking about Provence.
Yeah.
Typical guest number is our average guest count is 12. We typically max out at about 20. For trips, we can sometimes get to 22. Ride camps, we can get up to 30, but our classic trips are usually capped out at about 20. But our average number is 12. And yeah, where are they max out? Yeah. 30 for ride camp.
definitely. And so just so you know, like that average is 12. Some trips we have more than that. Um, like the last two trips I did in Vermont, one was 21, and then the next week was 12. A trip that happened before 21 had 6 people on it. So
Yeah.
it all varies trip to trip.
Yeah.
Yes, we provide pedals. We provide Shimano road pedals, Shimano mountain bike pedals. We have flats, and then we have pedals with cages on them.
So if
If you
if your shoes don't fit those, then you can bring your own and we'll put them on for you.
definitely, so if you ride Look pedals, Keo, any other type, speed play, you'll definitely want to bring your pedals with you, and we can spin them on your bike for you. And thank you, Mitch. Yeah, you just did a trip. There were 4 guests, and I bet it was pretty awesome.
I just looked up the average temperatures in Girona in April and it's perfect. 67 degrees or 44 as the low.
Perfect. Perfect. So the bike fit process, once you book a trip, you'll get an email from our office, and if you have a Domani at home or whatever bike you ride, you can send us some measurements. Or if you're not sure what your measurements might be, or your bike is a little different, you can go into your local Trek store. You can take a piece of paper with you, and they can get your measurements for us. And then you'll email them to the office. And typically what happens on prep day is we go through, we prep the bikes, and we look to see if there's measurements in there. And if your measurements are in there, then we will set the bike to those measurements. That way, when you show up on trip, we'll give you the bike, you hop on, and if it feels good, we leave it. If you feel like you need the seat higher or lower, or move the saddle forward or back, we can do that. We have different size stems, so we can change the reach of the bike. There's a lot of different things that we can do for everybody. But we try to get the bikes as close as possible with those measurements ahead of time to make the bike fit process smooth and easy for all.
Those are good questions.
Yeah, Taryn, I had a private question come in. What is a ride camp versus a regular trip?
Oh, it's a great question. Do you want to explain or do you want me to explain?
Oh, you can. I was just talking, so I figured you can go.
Okay, I'll go. Yeah, so a ride camp is going to be our guest. It's basically a training camp. I mean, it's just another word for a training camp. So we're really doing like ride, eat, sleep, repeat. We're not doing it like some of our classic guided trips, which is what most of our trips are, is going to be where you have some extra fun things that we do. We're going to do some cultural things mixed in. We're going to take you on a wine tasting, or we're going to do a pizza making class or something fun like that. But for our ride camps, it's our just people who are looking to really test their legs. They're already in good shape. We recommend you come on a ride camp already in decent shape, in pretty good shape, because otherwise it's going to be really tough to keep up with, the groups. And not that you have to be exactly with every group, but we want you to have a good time on your trip. And these trips are meant for people who are continuing their training process. So recommend that you're already in decent shape when you come on our ride camp trips. The rest of the trips, more lax, definitely going to be more space between guests, more like different rider types and rider levels, and more inclusions typically with those trips. Sometimes depending on what style of our classic trip there is. So we have everything from Discover, which is a little bit lower price point. So you maybe see a little bit more of a boutique style hotel, our Signature, and then we have Reserve, which is going to be our luxury trips. So everything's included, pretty much leave your wallet at home. We're going to do super really nice hotels, sometimes 4 or 5-star hotels. And yeah, George is right. It's a great value for your money. You're going to get there and we're going to take you riding through amazing destinations and still great spots. And it's all going to be guided and assisted. Is that a good explanation, Hershey?
Yeah, I love that. I think it's great. Like our regular trips, it's a about seeing the world by bike, exploring, enjoying great food, but really engaging with the culture, where our ride camps are all about riding the bike and then recovery time at night. And you get to ride in incredible places, but we're not necessarily taking you to Michelin starred restaurants and doing wine tastings and olive oil tastings and a pizza class.
But if you like doing that stuff while you're there, you can do that on your own. It's like you are allowed to go on your own and do some exploring. We will have like some lots of time for you to explore in the evening, so you can do that stuff
Yes,
if you're interested.
exactly. It's just not included in the trip price. How many individuals is a break even for a private tour versus scheduled ride? That's an awesome
I
question.
know it's 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's 10.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's 10 people to make it a private trip without any extra additional costs.
yeah. And if you have 8, then that price is just split up amongst um, everyone. But 10 is it.
Yeah. Self-guided tours. Good question. What's included?
Yeah.
So on our self-guided tours, we provide the bikes, the hotel, the breakfast, the routes on your Ride with GPS app or your Garmin. And then we just send you on your own. So you can ride whatever route you want for the day. There's no, real um set requirement for each day to day, and everything's out of one hotel. So you kind of go your own way, which day, depending on what you want to do. And then we give you lots of great recommendations of places in the area that you can go and eat or have fun things to do. But basically just the bikes, the Garmin, a flat pack, the hotels always have breakfast, and then the rest you're kind of exploring on your own. Great questions.
Definitely, definitely. I'll say this, if you're riding a lot and you're wondering like what should you bring with you besides the spirit of adventure, clothes, different cycling kits, layers in terms of cycling gear. Definitely if there's a saddle you ride at home, we recommend bringing that saddle. We have great saddles. However, your derriere is used to one saddle, and it's definitely much more comfortable to have your own saddle when you're spending a few hours on the bike each day.
We also provide helmets and pedals like we talked about before, but if you have your own and want to bring it, that's great.
Yeah. And we have Garmin's for everybody to use, but if you have a cycling computer that you prefer to use, or a different Garmin, we can always upload the routes for you onto your Garmin, so you could just use that to navigate. Or if you have, whatever device it might be, we can show you how to upload the routes from the Ride with GPS app.
Good deal. All right, well, I don't see any more questions that have come through. If there's nothing else, we will let you all have a wonderful evening. If you have other questions, reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer them, and we can't wait to see you out there.
Yeah, thank you everybody for a great night. Hopefully we will see you in Provence or Girona or some other beautiful destination by
Absolutely.
bike or by hiking.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, Hershey. Have a great night, everyone.
Yeah, thank you everybody.